To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. So in a previous video, I was kind of talking about security on the off-grid property that we have here. I wanted to go through that again in a little bit more detail because I've had several questions about it. So if you want to watch that video, at the end of this video, I will put a link, a little card right here on the screen will pop up. If you click that, you'll be able to watch that video. I'd appreciate it because it tells the algorithm that you enjoyed this video and that video. Also, you'll learn why I was talking about, we might want to be concerned about the government being able to take our food now. So today, I found a little bit of a disturbing problem on my walkthrough today. Now, as I told you in that video before, I do a daily walkthrough of our property. That's one of the reasons why I like having just an acre and a half. I can walk it pretty quickly, and I can take my time at the same time identifying things that are gone wrong. Well, the first thing I noticed when I came out here this morning to make my coffee, the very first thing, there was 2 coffee can lids that had been covering coffee cans, Folger coffee cans. We'd poured hamburger grease into these when we were canning hamburger. Well, the lids are off. Where's the cans? Well, then it only took a few more steps before we noticed dog tracks in the sawdust here. I've been cutting the firewood with my little circular saw. I cut it in half so I can fit it in the wood stove, north, south, and then east, west takes the longer ones. Well, here we have dog tracks. Now, we haven't had dogs on the property in forever. So my guess is my little warning to our neighbors, they either forgot or the dogs got loose. This is really concerning to me right here because we can hear everything on this porch. No matter what time of night it is, I feel like we hear everything. 2 nights ago, there was a possum on the porch. I instantly heard it. Came up, walked to the window, tapped on the window, the possum ran off. Raccoons come up here occasionally trying to get into the chicken feed. I always hear those. We're not having any problems with the possums and raccoons getting in chicken feed, so that means I am doing my job and keeping everybody away. But now we have dogs. That's a real concerning issue. So I have this little squeaker alarm that I was using to scare away the raccoons and the possums away from the chickens. And so it's a motion detector, charges by solar panel. I've moved that over to the wood pile. I can hear that at night. I've had animals walk in front of it. I can hear it. I think I might get another one of those and put it on the porch. Well, of course, as I was walking around, immediately saw that they got into Carolyn's little dish pans also. When we were canning the chicken and the beef, we put the trash, the packaging, in the dish pans and left it there overnight. I don't know, several nights ago. Well, the next morning I got up and I took it down and we burned the packaging. But I would imagine the smell was still there. Now, we've had these dogs here in the past. I've seen them on the trail cam that we have down there at the chicken. I've seen one of them there. I've seen 2 of them up underneath the house one night. We scared them off. But I think I made a pretty severe warning. I wasn't going to tolerate those dogs harassing my chickens or eating my chickens or anything. And they've done a pretty good job. It's been months since we've had a dog issue. I'm going to have to make a warning again, especially if I see them out again. My guess is they just got loose. Now, as I've said in that video that I asked you to watch at the end of this video, I take a daily walk around the house. I check the chickens, I check the solar panels, I check everything that, just see if anything's out of order, anything been disturbed. I started this routine when we had the meat birds because we were having a lot of problems. As a matter of fact, I got my trail cam right here. So there's the chickens there and you can see my trail cams right there. We have our animal trap right there. Right now, all we have is a possum. Although possums can be dangerous to chickens, I don't think I've got a problem right now because I don't think they'll bother bigger chickens. Have you ever seen a possum get scared and run off? It's cute to watch. They're actually not very good at running off. I thought I'd leave the possum around because possums are actually pretty good on the property. They eat ticks, and so I don't want to get rid of them if I don't have to. Raccoons, on the other hand, they're just a nuisance. Check the solar panels. They were fine. Come over here to the garden and all the equipment. I got my tiller over here at the edge of the garden here. Other than the dog thing, I think we're okay. Checked my firewood, everything's fine. A lot of people say I need to move my firewood from the house down to here. I just disagree. I think it would be easier for someone to steal firewood down here and me not know it than it would be up there. I'm right there all the time. That's the biggest part of my security is I'm here all the time. people who say, oh, people are going to come up by the road and they're going to steal your firewood. Well, even though it would be illegal for me to shoot anybody for stealing something, in order to shoot anybody, you got to defend yourself. You can't defend your property with a firearm. But I could, if I'm standing right here and they're taking my firewood, I'll just open up the window to the tiny house and shoot out the tires in their truck. They would never get away. If they start shooting back, then I can shoot them because then I'm defending myself. So I think people are making a big deal out of nothing. There's no way anybody's going to steal anything around here without me knowing about it. And besides that, when I was a kid, we lived probably a quarter mile up the hill. There was 3 other houses. We were out in the country, but it was like a little, what it was this guy had a piece of property and he made some rental houses around there. I think he ended up selling them off. He lived in an old house up on the hill. They drove all the way up the hill, the quarter of a mile, and took our firewood, loaded their truck up. This also brought up a question that I get a lot. And it's always this prepper question. Now you gotta remember, I'm not a prepper. I don't want to be a prepper. I don't want to worry myself sick about things that I can't control. I don't sit around worrying about the end of the world. What I am doing is trying to find peace and happiness today, right now. And I've found it. I'm living off grid. I've got my freedom. I have no stress in life. I have no worries. I have reasonable security that when a possum comes up on the porch, I can hear it, but I can't hear dogs. And I'm taking a proactive step to eliminate that problem, so I'll get my little alarm and then I'll be able to hear the dogs too. When we come to the end of the world and everything is just terrible, what am I going to do to defend my stuff? Because all these people are going to come and want my stuff. Wouldn't it be better if you had a community of people to help protect you? And my answer is always no, it's not better. Here's my philosophy. I'm not a very people person. I've said that in many videos. But all my life, I've tried to make friends. And I've lost every one of my friends because they end up using me. Is the only way I can put it. I can't think of one person that I was friends with that I'm not angry with now. I had a neighbor. We went over, made him Thanksgiving dinner. We were just great friends. And they asked for some money one day, and well, of course we gave it to them. They're friends. But then they started asking for more and more, and eventually we had to say no. And now they're mad, right? Because we said no. Well, what kind of friend are you? And then I have to ask myself, well, what'd you ever do for me? They did nothing. They never come over to help anything. One time she came over and asked if she could clean our house, but she wanted money for it. And that's the way it's been for me all the time. Friendship to me is never a two-way street. It's always me giving. People are going to say, well, you just let people take advantage of you. Well, I don't know how to stop people from taking advantage of me other than just don't be around people. So all through history, what we have seen is anytime a community comes together, you have 2 types of people. You have the producers and you have the takers. Let's say I've got this off-grid property, right? Nobody else around here is off-grid, just me. And the end of the world happens. Well, I'm going to need these people to come protect my property. So I go and invite everybody. I say, okay, let's all become a community and we'll take care of each other. We'll raise our own food. We'll protect each other. Make sure we have clothes, and we all participate. Some of them are going to say, well, I don't want to participate. I just want you to give me stuff. We see it all through history. It's always been this way. I want you to give me food, and I'm going to sit here and not do anything. We actually saw this when the Puritans or the Pilgrims or somebody came over. And let's not get into all the, the Native American stuff. I'm talking specifically about when they came over. They started this communal thing. Everybody brought their vegetables to the market, and they would just take what they needed. Well, eventually, nobody was bringing anything except a couple people, and everybody was taking. So they had to change the system where it became an independence thing, where instead of everybody working the farm, everybody had their own farm. Well, that's what will happen to any community that I would establish, is eventually they're going to say, I'm not doing anything. Rob's got the chickens, Rob's got the eggs, Rob's got the pork, Rob's got the canning stuff, Rob's got, and they're going to come and take and take and take. Legally, they will take it legally, because whatever laws we have established, the community will come together and say, yeah, Rob, you need to give. Whereas if they come and take my stuff illegally, and it's just me, at least I will have a right to defend myself. But if they come and take it legally, I won't. Which, if you look at our current governmental system. That's the way it is now. They pass laws so they can take from some people and give to others. There's always the givers and there's always the takers. So what we're saying is when people ask me this question, Rob, we want to start over. We want to get rid of our current system and start a new system identical to our current system, but this system just got too big. We want to make it smaller. Well, no, I'm just not going to participate in that. Look, if I can't defend myself, then I guess I'll just have to pay the consequences. But I can't defend myself against the community either, because I always lose. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation for me. I just want to take the situation that's going to work best. In that last video I wanted you to watch, I even talked about the government. There is a couple executive orders. Watch that video, you'll know more about it. Where it appears, I don't know for sure, I read them, but I don't understand exactly. If there's an emergency declared, they can take your food, your stockpile of food. So if a government can come in and take your stockpile of food, what's the difference between the big government coming and taking your stockpile of food or a little government? A government, your community, the one that we're going to establish to defend my firewood, come in and take my food. Rob, we got to have your food. It's an emergency. We're all hungry. They take it by force. And there's so many in the numbers of people that are going to agree with whoever wants to take it. Yeah, we got to take their food. So no, my philosophy is independence is a better way to go. So if you'll check out this video right here, I believe it is, it goes in a lot of detail about executive orders and the government being able to take your stuff. I'd appreciate it if you'd watch it for me. It helps the algorithm know that you like this video. So I hope I can inspire you to be happy about today and don't be scared of the future so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.